How's it going, people? It's Ninja Tips here. Today I'm gonna go over some Boltok tips. On Gears of War 4, of course. The Boltok was this good in Gears UE, I would have picked that thing up way more frequently. But no way you can fire fast like this. Did you see that? This is one of those weapons that people like to ignore in the game for some reason, though. Like the Mixa. Like, now that I think of it. But never again with the Boltok, gents. Heck, every time I run past the weapon pickup, it's hard to resist the temptation. I just gotta have it. Unless you pick it up first, you big thief. Let's go over the facts though. The Boltok's a high caliber double action revolver with a 6-round capacity, side swing chamber, and an enclosed hammer. Fires slower than a standard snub pistol, of course, yeah. But it's not that much slower if you use active reloads. And oh boy, does it pack a heavier punch per shot. To me, it's almost as if I'm picking up the long shot sniper rifle, since you can actually get one-shot kills with active rounds. And you can hurt someone just as bad as you would with a sniper rifle, you know, with this thing, when you make that body shot. Just remember, we're talking actives here. You can also utilize what's called stopping power with the Boltok to stop enemies in their tracks as they roadie run in any direction. You might recall the Retro Lancer having that strong stopping power capability, which is pretty frustrating if you're on the receiving end. So let me start off by going through the steps I take when I use the Boltok. For one, I make sure I do not approach corners without active reloading the Boltok first. Normally I try to keep my distance when using the Boltok, since I can easily have enough time to place 2 quick shots before my opponent takes just a few steps. And if I have to, in case I missed one of the shots, for example, I will run back or jump back to buy more distance, usually the latter, giving me another opportunity to take a shot. It only takes about 3 to drop someone anyway. It's more efficient against skilled players, however, when you run backwards instead of jumping backwards. I'll tell you why. When you roll in any direction, it's easier for anyone to calculate where you're rolling into to place their next shot at, usually that kill shot. So make it harder for your opponent by, you know, running towards any direction, for your head to be, you know, less popped by as often by M bars and long shots. You may notice that a lot of skilled players do that when using the Gnasher. It's just all part of the mind game that they're freaking playing, you know? You can beat that mind game though when you're maintaining that distance. And by the way, the backwards retreat is done by holding the A button and holding back the left thumbstick almost simultaneously, but in actuality, the A button must be pressed first, and at that point, within milliseconds, you hold back the left thumbstick, wherever direction you want to run to. Walking backwards while blind firing also works wonders, since the Boltok is pretty accurate as long as you have the center bubble of the bloody cog encircled around your opponent and use the left trigger, which is used for aiming in a pop shot manner before firing a round, similar to the way a clutch and gas pedal work on a standard car. You gotta shift back and forth between the left and right trigger between shots, and between that time, you're adjusting the switch outs of that left trigger and the fire trigger. So aim carefully and do not depress them simultaneously, obviously. If you intend to rapid fire active rounds for close quarter targets, you can't go wrong with blind firing them. I find myself, when I'm being rushed at by someone, I quickly active reload if I can afford the time, and then fire 1 round or 2 before deciding to blind fire, just to be more precise. If there's no room for active reloading though, honestly, just switch out to the Gnasher, buddy. Godspeed. Firing the active rounds on a Boltok will take some getting used to, but for me, I think of the sound and the fast rhythm of the shots that the Boltok can make in my head, and then use my index finger to fire at that same rhythm. You should be able to get that rhythm down with a little practice, and you should be able to see what I'm talking about. Comes in handy when you have more than one opponent running at you, and it helps when they run straight in any direction, especially towards you, and it also helps when they jump in any direction, so it's almost a lose-lose situation for the opposing team. Just make sure you keep that healthy distance, and keep in mind that the same rules apply for firing the Boltok as it does when firing the sniper. You have to wait for the closed red loop before firing, because that's precisely where your shot will go. The cover system with the Boltok is a smart, precise, and overall safe way to send rounds down range. Moreover, it also helps you switch back and forth between the top and left or right side of the cover, since you don't necessarily sacrifice losing your sight picture and sight alignment, and it just keeps you safe from incoming fire at the same time. Usually one round in the upper torso with an active round will make a target bleed profusely, opening up that kill shot or down opportunity. So it's actually a good maneuver to switch into the shotgun out just after placing that Boltok round in there. Situation dictates, of course. Strategically speaking, picking up a Boltok in order to take over a well-protected area is not such a bad idea after all. As it usually just, happens in modes like King of the Hill or Guardian, and you can just easily take out one or two of the Boltok from a distance, then proceed with throwing a smoke grenade and rushing in with a Gnasher. It's actually quite possible to play an entire match using the Boltok, just as long as you're picking up ammo often, since you only start with 18 rounds when you pick it up. If you keep picking up ammo, you can only max out at 42, which feels pretty nice. Just really try not to die. There really isn't much else I can add except for listen to your surroundings. Well, I wouldn't recommend playing the game without a headset. You can really get an upper hand on your opponent, figuring out their location by sound. You can be ready for that distance decision between you and your target. And what I mean by that is just deciding whether you have the time, to active reload, because if you can't, you're just better off switching off to the Gnasher to survive that battle. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. Just sharing some tips with the Boltok that work out for me. And hopefully they work out for you. Peace.